Alright, welcome to part 3. So, I haven't really done much other than fit the wiper wheel boxes. An absolute nightmare to fit these. I hate doing it because the wiper boxes are easy to fit. The problem is the linkage that joins them together, and sometimes it's not always the correct one, or it's not always, how do I say, bent the right way. So putting these in is one thing, and I swapped them out, and these are plastic ones I swapped because the ones I got with the kit were rubber, and they were terrible because they compress too much, and it just feels like it's never ending, and it's gonna just squeeze the life out of it and always be loose. So I changed them to plastic, and they look like they're pretty good. So the issue I have with that, and again, you might find your own way of doing it if you're doing it, is put these in, but don't screw them all the way. Leave them a little loose. And then you have to put the metal tubing in. So there's one piece that wasn't with it, and it's usually a short one that goes off the end. Because once you put them in, then you can feed the cable around. Because the important thing is that the cable goes through there and lines up with the actual wheel, and then goes. So it goes with it. If it's too tight, it will bind and it will snap. And if it's too loose, it will just go around in circles and not actually do anything. So the only way to get it to line up is to basically leave it loose enough that when you push the cable from the motor through, that sort of it wiggles it enough to line it up that the cable is pretty, how do I say, straight enough and it's not under stress. So, but you'll never fully know until you turn the wipers on. It could work for 6 months and then give up if it's not correct. I hate this system, and it's usually, like I said, it's that piping in the middle. You can see it there. It's that piping in the middle that joins them together. That's what causes all the ruckus, is getting that to line up with the rest of it. Anyway, other than that, it's time to throw some more high speed. I haven't achieved anything else in the wiring yet. I'm still exactly where I am because I have to get this done, because if I put too much wiring in there, it's going to get in the way. And then, because I need that gap open. So now that it's done, I'm going to continue on with the wiring and yeah, keep plugging away. We're going to put some new headlight bowls in because the original ones here, well, it's the original ones I've seen a bit of better days. This is not the worst of them, but like just the broken down here, the snapped. And is it worth trying to put these in? No. So we're going to put some, some nice shiny new ones. And all the inner parts in the bulb is okay. We're just going to put these new ones in. And new harness, because to be honest, the harness is I have to put the connector's not on it anyway, but just trying to get it out. So like for the little tiny money to put a new wire in here, because it's not exactly easy to get to. So yeah, we'll try that on. So let's roll on with some high speed. There I am. Hello. Let's throw on some high speed, and we'll add on the high speed of me originally doing them, but a lot of it I done off camera just because it's so awkward to do. The last thing you want to do is see me go back forth for ages. So yeah. All right then. Let's get cracking. Alright, and we continue on. So, more of a mess, but less of a mess at the same time. It's more of a mess because there's more wires in there. It's less of a mess because it's slowly starting to get sorted. So what I've done is I have gotten the steering column all set in, so that's all in place. The ignition, so we put a new ignition on it, so that's that okay. So now I can slowly but surely start to test these two switches, and then I can start to connect some wires and tie them up, and then I'll get them out of the way before I start adding more. That way I don't have a colossal hanging like a, it'd be messing there if I had everything. So I'll do that. I haven't really done anything else really. I've installed the linkage, so I put the bar in, and we got some of these new style poly bushings for the steering one. We got them from a different vendor to try them, and they're brutal. They're almost like the original. They're absolutely terrible to put in, like terrible. So don't get me wrong, if nothing's in there, it's they're not a great one. The orange ones we normally sell, I'll be keeping with them because they're way better. So, but yeah, that's almost like the original one you get, which is plastic, and it's, oh my god, like stabbing yourself with fingers with flathead screwdrivers trying to get it in. Yeah. What else have I done? I jacked up the front a bit. I just jacked it up so when I put the steering column in, I can actually move it. We have our headlamp bowls in, so there's a nice shiny new headlamp bowls. They will make a big difference. Obviously some of it was not great. On this side here, the rivet hole was massive, so it was a nut and bolt, so that's why that looks like that. Yeah, getting there. So now with the throttle bar in, with the steering column in place, I can now start to offset and tie stuff off and keep it up out of the way, and start focusing in on getting all the connections now for the dash, so I can actually get the wood on. And well, I won't get the wood on because the A-frame has to go in, but the A-frame can't go in because all the carpet would have to go in. So I'm going to end up having all the wires there for the dials. I will put a dashboard onto it, but it will only be temporary because all this end has to get done. But I just need to get at least one dial up there so I can actually run the power through the voltage stabilizer, which I have a brand new one here somewhere, and to make sure all the rest of the gauges work. Now I'm not going to know if the fuel gauge is not going to work because I'm pretty sure there's no fuel in it, but I can ground it out and test it, because we are going to swap some bits and pieces here. We are going to swap this board for this board, so I'm going to take these off. So I'll test these individually and ground them out to make sure they're actually working. The oil I can't ground out, it is what it is, but I'm not too worried about the oil pressure gauge. I've never really come across any that don't work. The only thing that don't work is if you get an air bubble in it, which can happen after like a rebuild, because there's still air in the engine. Even though you're starting it all up, there's still air, and it works its way up to this, and you'll see this go down, come up, go down. What you hope is that when you drain it out and you drain all the oil out, it pulls it out with it, and then when you fill it back up, it gets rid of that air bubble. It's happened to me where I've seen the gauge go up and down because I know there's an air bubble stuck in the line somewhere. So I mean, there's no real way of bleeding that line, so it'll eventually work its way out. It is what it is. So yeah, that's it. It looks a lot better now that there's an actual steering column in it. I could get a steering wheel on and try, but this is awful. It's pretty rusty in there. So I reckon it's going to be pretty stiff steering. It's going to need quite the spray down there. So I'm not sure what to spray. WD-40, which would probably be better, or a silicone spray. What I've had to do with this, these are pretty stiff as well. So what I've actually sprayed in there is I have sprayed battery connector spray. So I'm putting that in there. Alright, because it's meant to, it protects against the terminals, but it's meant for electrical connections. Now I know there is another spray, and I have it here somewhere, and I cannot find it. And again, it's for electrical connectors. I just didn't want to put any lubricant in there because you have a better chance of having a bad connection. So I wanted something that it's for electrical currents, that spray for that. So that's why I used that, just enough to loosen. It'll eventually loosen up after time, the more it gets used. But yeah, just for now, it's pretty stiff. So yeah. All right. Well, for now, the mess continues. Like I said, I'm going to test this one, and I'm going to run the lights because I already have the colors here for this light. The wire does run out. There is 2 more wires I need to connect in down there. I might do that now to see where that white red. White red is usually a radio, or is it white pink? I'll see where that one has to go. And then the other one is the black green, which offhand I know it, and I'm pretty sure it has to do with the buzzer. I'm pretty sure that's the buzzer sound, but I don't know if that's an ignition buzzer or not. I think that black green goes to the black. God, I'm standing on everything. If I'm correct, that will go to this ground strap on this, which yes, black green. Oh, look at that. Yeah, remember these colors. All right, so I know where that's going. That's the ground system for the ignition, and that should run the. That's for your buzzer. So when you turn the ignition key, bzz, you get the buzz. So, well, like I said, I'm gonna connect it anyway, and whether there's a buzzer in it and it runs or not is another thing. So we'll leave it. All right, with that, it's time to more high speed. So onwards and onwards we go. See you in a bit. Okay, so we're starting to get somewhere. Amongst all the colossal mess in there, I know what's what. So some of it is loomed, some of it not. And because it's not loomed, it doesn't help. But I have a cable tied into little sections, believe it or not. Like little sections here. I still have more to go in. So where am I? Obviously, I've done all these 3 wires. I have these wires for the switch. I've started to put end pieces on. So I now have, for example, the high beam. I have the indicator one connected up. And that's going to ground out just in case. It doesn't say it's meant to be grounded out, it's meant to be a solid one, but just in case, because it will ground out to the unit, but just in case I have, it's a double wire anyway, so I'm going to run it to a ground to the rest of them. I have the, believe it or not, the switches here now connected up. So I didn't put many bullet connectors on it, but I put some. So I was able to put some bullet connectors here and connect them to, and I basically try to tie them up so I can get them out of my way. I even had the purple there, so I had the purple done, so because there's still more that has to connect in there. So once I get them connected, I basically want to, I'm just tying them up out of the way, so I've less. So it has a solid purple as well. I'm gonna know when I get near the end, I'm gonna start getting confused with wires, so I have to go back. That's just there, that's just looped. I have to just tidy it up. So I'll just tripod that either into a loom, or I'll just try to take it down and wrap a bit of tape around it to clean it up. But I can always just the cable tie. Other than that, I'm slowly getting the wires here done. So from the voltage stabilizer, now I have the double green that will go to the fuel. Oh, this is the temperature gauge. So this one goes to the temperature. So I had to find the green with the blue tracer that will run all the way to the water temperature sensor at the front, and that doubles back. And then I have this one here for the fuel tank. So that's them two. The rest of them hanging down are coming down this end. The other two gauges that run here, one's an oil pressure, so it doesn't do much, and the other one is the volts one, I believe. Oh, hang on, look at it. Let's go look at where it is. The other one from here, so this stabilizer, so this should be another green I have coming around here, which is gone somewhere. Where is it? Here it is here. Have to find the wire. So this one here, it then will go on to the voltmeter, and then from there it's just literally a ground strap down. That's all. So that will then double back around. So the handbrake warning, late models only. So that go around, that's to a bulb, which in this case should be a bulb in the middle here, and to which grounds out. So it only says that for the late models though. So we'll see if I install that or not. I'll have to talk to the owner if he wants that on it. I don't think he's too concerned about them, because there's no handbrake warning lamp. You'd need a switch and a handbrake. I'm pretty sure it's that. I don't think it's it couldn't be the low brake pressure, because that runs a different one. That will if I go to the original one, wherever that would be, that's the low oil pressure volts. This one here, if we look at this one, well, I'm trying to follow the same one, has our washer, our temp, our fuel. Where is, oh, look at it now here for a second. Now I'm trying to see where the volts gauge is. I know you can probably see it, but I'm staring at it now and I can't even see it. Where is she hiding? She's on the green one. So that's the washer switch that comes down. Brakes, fuel, temp, washer. Where is the neutral, safety system, reverse switch, overdrive, brake light switch, the heater switch, fan motor, turn signal hazard. Where's the volts gauge? That's a dimmer. It's on the green line. Yeah, I don't see it here. Oh, hell, I'm going blind now. I can't even see it. I see the wiper washer, washer motor, temperature gauge, fuel gauge. Where's the volts? Great. Now it's here looking at me somewhere and I can't even see it. Oh, there's up there. It's always on the green side, it's on the white side. So this one runs off, the original one runs off the ignition switch. So the white will come off, branch off, and then that white one goes to the alternator warning. That will go that direction. And the other white one will go from the fuse box. So I don't know why then this system runs it this way then. Because that runs directly before the volt stabilizer. Because it's into a bulb here. Because it comes out, it breaks and goes into the brake fail lamp. And goes down into the voltage stabilizer. So it's a bit odd the way they have this done, because then that will go into a lamp and then the black purple, and it comes out and then it goes down to the brake fail switch, which is that's the and oh, let me show you. That'll be here. The brake fail switch is here, so that's the low one. So by right, the black with the purple should be starting here and coming back in, and that's basically tell you when you have low, the brake fluid is low. So it's a little different compared to the original wiring harness. Like, it's odd the way they run the voltmeter off the green, but that's just how they have it, because obviously there's no white wire. So yeah, there's a white red and a white green, so I just have to follow them, because all I do is for me to follow. And if you're doing this and you're wondering how do I know which wire is which? If it wasn't for this, don't get me wrong, most of these are most of them are pretty much the same color. It's simple. Here's the fuse box, and what you're doing is you're looking for any wire that exit out of the box. So once you come out of the box, it's a wire that basically pops out. So if I wanted to find that white with the red tracer, so I'll go down to the colors, and white should be W and the red tracer, which is OR. So we're looking for W OR, and all I do is follow my way around. And W OR, see, that's the white with the red tracer. So that's from the ignition switch to the starter. So that's as simple as that. So what that means is this white red is the one that will go on. So when you turn the key, the very last one you turn where it springs back, that spring one is the white red, and that's the one that sends the final power down to the solenoid on the starter to trigger the fire. So that's as simple as that. So that's how you know if you want to find a wire. So if white with a green tracer, then I just continue the same. So where's that one go? So that'd be WG. There we are. It's up here. So that comes out, and that again is going to the ignition switch. So the power relay. So I'm going to. There's a yellow one. There's a yellow one here that I presume that's the main power because of the gauge of the wire. That should be the main one in. But the white green, well, it's just going to the ignition switch, because has where it tells you where the switch goes around in the order. So see W or white red, that's the last one. So by right, ACC should be the main power, if I'm correct. So NR, brown with a red tracer. NR is brown with a red tracer, yeah. Where's the yellow? The yellow is there, it's the ignition. So by right, it should be, usually it goes around the circle. So the start should be the last one, so it should spring back. So if it was me, the white purple that goes into most, like, I'm pretty sure that there is a dial. That's what it's meant to be, I think. Tells you what it is there. One pin of a multiple pin connector. These connectors may be used in, okay. Then it goes to WK. K is pink, yeah? White pink. Now if I'm correct, white pink was, to me, was a radio for ACC's accessory. So that's basically a radio. Hence maybe, oh there it is there, yeah. So, just knowing the colors, I didn't even read the, I'm looking through the phone here and I didn't even read it back. It's a radio. So if you want to put a radio in it, then you just find this slot here. You can connect it, to be honest, you can connect it at any point on the ignition. So what I done was, I still have the ignition when I put it in. I actually have all the wires still in the back of it. So it's a little easier to follow. So all the crappy wires are there. So there's big ass white red. We have a white, we have a brown, brown red, blue, whatever. Like, I don't know, it's hard to fold in colours a bit. But I have another one as well. I have another one, and what I do is that allows me to look at ones like this for the ignition, and I follow the colours. And if it's in numbered, then I can follow this to a degree on where it goes. So there's the white pink. There's browns, there's whites. So like maybe not all of them are connected. You don't all need to be connected maybe. Because this one just has multiple wires to it. Because we have what? We have a brown red, we have a white pink, we have a white red, we have a yellow. W actually is white. So there is a solid white one, but it looks like it's meant to go to it. White green, the white. And then we have brown, black green, white red. So where's this yellow one go? There's a big ass thick yellow one that came in now to figure out where that's going. So, but there I am here. So there I was following it there. See, there's the main power terminal, yellow, and it's going up. So according to the yellow, it connects to the brown. So N is brown. So if I went to the ignition cable here, I connect that to the brown, which would be this one here, this big, thick, ugly looking wire. So now I know I'll connect that one to that one. And then that's probably where the rest of them go as well. So there's the original, that's probably the original colours on the switch. And then what I connect them to. So the white purple would be the white pink. Yeah, okay. And that's how I'll do it. So obviously now I just figured out is that it's not going directly to the switch. That them colours here, it's shown me. Like the white red is actually coming out of the original starter, and then that little connection is where we're going to connect it to. So that's these wires here on the outside of these boxes are what's actually coming from these looms, and then that's the on the inside will be like these wires here that are original to the ignition switch. But to be honest, it's not hard to figure out what goes where. To be honest, you only really get nothing. Click it once, you just get two stages. So you get click once where you get a radio, you get two. Second stage, which is referred to as MAF, and you get your ignition lights, and then the last one should be start, and that's a spring loaded one. So it's usually like 1, 2, hang on, 1. So that'd be radio. First click is radio. Second one, you should start getting your ignition lights, so I am connected on that one, and then the last one spring loaded. So the easiest thing to do is put power in, and then when you turn the first key, see where the power is coming out, and you know, hey, that's the radio one. Turn to the next one and see where the power is coming out, and then that will tell you your ignition. So when that's on the ignition side, so that's usually like your greens, all the greens and white wires to say the word. So they'll be on the ignition, and then your white reds the starter at the end. It's simple as that. Yeah. All right. So that's it for now, but yeah, I'm getting closer. I'm slowly starting to tidy the mess up. Having a steering column in it is pretty good because it's allowing me to, it's allowing me to actually, as much as the mess is in here, cable tie this to it to keep them up out of the way so they're not all dangling down there, so it's the mess doesn't look as bad. But getting there indeed. Oh, that's the horn, so that's easy to do. Look, there's the two of them there. So I'll just join them together. It's a bullet connector, so I might just put a bullet connector on that, and then I can tie that up. And I'll just keep putting a load of cable ties on it. And then when I'm finished, I'll just snip off the ones I don't want. But yeah, that's it. I haven't done anything else really, except, oh look, I put some headlights on them. Eee, look at them. Pretty nightmare getting these on. They were hard to get on, just because of the way it was riveted on. But yeah, then I can, it won't be too, actually, believe it or not, it won't be too hard doing the engine bay, because all I'm really doing is sending the wires to the Pacific headlamps and the sensors. It's not that much, like 1 indicator, 2 indicator, the headlights, the marker lights, so it looks worse than what it is, but there's not actually that much there. Like the white wires obviously will go to end on the sensor side, and then most of them are actually for the lamps. So yeah, and then it's nearly done. I hope to try start it, but where's this pile up? Okay, so this has to go back. This is one of the white wires. This is white with the brown, so that's going to have to go back, and that's going all the way to the ignition. So again, that's going to be on the ignition side where I showed it. So that will on the power to the coil. I've set the figure out because it's pretty bad down here. Overspray. I still have to try put some clamps and try drop this engine down a bit if I can, and see where it lines up with the shaft, to see if I just put the shaft in, will she line up? I don't think she will. I think she has to get cut and balanced, but I was over at Air Machine Shop and he told me a place that does that, but I need to have the exact measurements. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the engine down pretty much as far as I can, and I'm going to basically get the shaft and see if it fits to begin with, to see how far off it is. I'm not expecting it to fit, but we'll see what happens. Other than that, it's a bit of a Triumph car park here today. So it's a beautiful day. Grass is being cut. The TR7 that was in here for brakes, waiting for the calipers to come in to send that home. Our new freshly purchased TR3 that we own here at Plan 6 Parts. So we just got this, so it's going to take a bit of time for me to clean up and get it running correctly. We have another TR6 there with the engine build ready to go home. And yeah, other than that, we have a few hidden boards here, TR4 to get running for somebody, and our TR250 project. So that's 250 sitting there. And of course our P6P. So yeah, very busy here at Plan 6 Parts. Very, very busy. So that's it for now. Join me in the next part where I'm done for the day and I'm going to clean up a little bit again. So remove some stuff and tape up the wires a bit more. I may end up swapping this over and putting the board on just so I can actually again tidy up the wires and remove them to where I want to do them, because I have my loom that's sitting on the floor here. So that's my loom there for the lights. So I need to install that, and then that will actually, I'm just going to basically cable tie it onto what's there, and that will run the 2 illumination lamps for 1 gauge, 2 gauge, the 4 illuminations here, the hazards and the wiper illuminations. So that's a loom I literally made from scratch, and all I'm doing is going to sit that in there, and all I have to do is basically the red, basically there's the dimmer into one side of the dimmer, and then that's going to go the other side, and it's as simple as that. For the dimmer or stat, providing it works, I have to test it. And then other than that, I have to create a nice ground strap somewhere, a nice thick ground strap, and that has all the, that actually has ground straps, believe it or not, connected to it as well. I don't know if you can see them, but they're right there. And any ground straps else I'm running, I'll run them all to the one. I'll find the good parts in the body, and I'm going to all mount them to the one, and that's it. I'm not going to run it through onto the battery. I'm just going to do it to the body somewhere. So yeah, slowly getting there. Like it's believe it or not, there's not much more to go, as much as it seems, to actually finish the wiring. Little simple things I have to do as well is basically just run the lamps to the doors, which is pretty straightforward. They're just ground straps. I just need power. Obviously the main power comes to the purples. I just need the purple black, I believe, or purple white, and that's the one that will go to each door, and that's the ground, and also to the switch in the middle that will illuminate the lights there. So, but again, that's not here. I'm not too worried about that. I just want to do enough that I can get the engine started. All right, see you in the next part. Thanks for watching.